Children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We are quickly refreshing. What are the features of stagflation, children? 3 points or rather 4 points we discussed basically relating to stagflation. So tell me, what are the features of stagflation? Tell me. Quick. Kaisa bhul jata hai? You will have to remember. Fatafat bolo, let me check with the chat box. I can see only good morning. Stagflations का point क्या है? Very good. Yes, I am happy. 1 minute. Yes, GDP is decreasing. You are right. Inflation is high. Unemployment is high. Very nice. Excellent, children. I am very happy. So today what we are going to discuss is something totally different. That is Phillipps curve. Okay. Phillipps curve, children. I am taking Phillipps curve. 1 minute. Yeah, I am opening that slide. Oh. Who has unmuted? Don't mute yourself, children. 1 minute. If you are unmuting, I will remove you. 1 minute. Yes, Anil Sonavani. Yes, mute yourself. I hope. I hope you can see the question. Can you see the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Phillips curve किधर तो भी गया उसको पकड़ कर रखता है इधर. Yes. Phillips curve is one of the very important concept. Okay, in the post-Keynesian, there are two types of Phillips curve. One is the short-run Phillips curve, other is the long-run Phillips curve. Children, before going ahead, you are aware today the whole lectures are combined. Okay, second and third, all the lectures are combined. Take care, because so that everybody is able to get a fair chance. Now, but what is Phillips curve? What does it explain? Okay, in 1958, A.W. Philipps, the professor at London School of Economics, published a detailed study of, look here, wage behavior in United Kingdom for a period of 1861 to 1957. So you can see here it is almost 100 years approx. So there are 2-3 questions here. Phillips curve, the concept was introduced by A.W. Philipps. And he has studied the behavior of United Kingdom. You know that England में उसने क्या पढ़ा? The wage behavior, how the wages are moving up and down. How the wages are moving up and down between the period of 1861 to 1957. So 2-3 points, children, we are repeating. Phillips curve was introduced by A.W. Philipps. That itself is a good question. Which year? 1958. And A.W. Philipps belongs to Britain. United Kingdom means Britain, UK. And he has studied the behavior of wages between 1861 to 1957. Pretty long period. So you can see here how for a longer period they are doing the research. That is from 1861 to 1957. Phillips curve brings a inverse relationship between rate of unemployment and rate of money wages. Here you have to be very careful. What does Phillips curve explain? We will go step by step slowly. Phillips curve is explaining the inverse relation. You are aware inverse relation means opposite relation. Between what? Between unemployment and the rate of increase in money wages. Okay. So when the money wage is increasing, what is happening to unemployment? Okay, that is what we are going to discuss. Or Phillipps curve is explaining, this is the proper word, trade-off. Trade-off between unemployment and inflation. Children, आपको ये समझ में आना चाहिए what is trade-off. Trade-off का हिंदी मीनिंग क्या है? एक मिलने के लिए दूसरा देना पड़ेगा. That is the meaning of trade-off. To receive one benefit, you have to sacrifice something. I'm repeating. To receive some benefit, you have to sacrifice. That is the meaning of the term trade-off. So here, what the producer is, sacrificing, or what the economy itself is sacrificing. Dekho, here the sacrifice is between unemployment and inflation. Children, both are evils. Please remember, unemployment as well as inflation, both are evils. So country को अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कम करने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? इन्फ्लेशन एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. If your purpose is to reduce unemployment, then you will have to accept inflation. और आपको इन्फ्लेशन कम करने पर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ज्यादा होगा. This is a trade-off. Say for example, I am telling you, children, if you wanted to get O grade, you have to attend 100% lectures. ये देखो. So this is a trade-off. What is the trade-off? आपके लिए O grade मिलना चाहिए, then 100% लेक्चर अटेंड करना पड़ेगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि लेक्चर अटेंड नहीं करेगा मैडम हमको O grade चाहिए, that is not possible. इधर इश्यू क्या है? There are two evils. इकोनॉमी के लिए both are bad. Inflation is also bad, unemployment is also bad. लेकिन you have to accept one. What is the reason? Every economy will try for reduced unemployment. Okay, so how to reduce unemployment? You will have to increase the inflation. मतलब प्राइस इंक्रीज होने पर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कम होगा. नहीं, हमको वो नहीं चाहिए. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कम होने पर इन्फ्लेशन ज्यादा होता है, हमको नहीं चाहिए. ठीक है, आपको इन्फ्लेशन नहीं चाहिए पर क्या होगा? इन्फ्लेशन कम होगा, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट ज्यादा होगा. I hope my children are understanding. There is a very big trade-off. ये दोनों के बीच में से आपको एक लेने का है. वो लेने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? आपको एक तो एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. कौन सा एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा? Either inflation or unemployment. Then Phillipps curve is downward sloping. There is short run Phillipps curve as well as long run Phillipps curve. Now I am quickly refreshing, or I am just doing a recap. Professor A.W. Phillipps, he has introduced the Phillipps curve in the year 1958. That's point number one. Point number two, he belongs to London School of Economics, which was in UK. Okay, and he has studied the wage behavior, how the wages are moving up and down. Wages are related to inflation. Okay, he has studied for a very long period between 1861 to 1957. And the Phillipps curve studies about what? The inverse relationship between unemployment and inflation. Because Phillipps says that there is a big trade-off between unemployment and inflation. Please remember that. Children, what do you mean by trade-off? Trade-off का meaning क्या बोला बच्चे लोग? किधर गया आवाज? What do you mean by trade-off? देखता इधर चेक करता है. Yes. Children, trade-off का meaning क्या है? एक मिलने के लिए दूसरा देना पड़ेगा. That is trade-off. इधर क्या sacrifice करना पड़ता है? आपको inflation ज्यादा होगा, ठीक है, फिर आपको unemployment कम होगा. Inflation कम होने पर unemployment ज्यादा होगा. So producer नहीं तो economy को ये दोनों के बीच में एक accept करना पड़ेगा. Please put it in the chat box. Could you follow it? Trade-off का meaning? Very nice. You have written it over there. To receive something, you have to sacrifice something, right? Okay, let us continue further. Here, the diagram you have to be very careful. We will have to draw it also. Look here. X-axis we are showing unemployment. Y-axis we are showing inflation. This is the Phillipps curve. एक ही कर्व है, ऊपर ड्रॉ करने के वजह से दो दिखाता है. एक ही Phillipps curve is downward sloping. You can see here. This is the Phillipps curve. The blue color. Green color is just drawn on top of that. Okay, same. Phillipps curve is downward sloping. What does it mean? ये देखो. We are denoting inflation with the help of price level. You can see here. OP was the price. Now the price is increasing to OP1. ये देखो. Or OP1 was the price is decreasing to OP. We are showing when the price is coming down, hey dekho, when the inflation is less, what is happening? Unemployment is more. Unemployment is more, children. When the price increases, hey dekho, इधर A point पर जाने पर unemployment is less. ये देखिए. So economy को एक बड़ा choice लेना पड़ेगा. What is the big choice? Either you want inflation or you want unemployment. This is a choice that economy has to make. If the economy is happy with inflation, no doubt unemployment will be less. But you are aware that inflation is also a villain. So economy has to make a very proper choice. Can we draw the diagram? Let us start. One minute. And just adding one new slide so that okay, we are drawing here. Draw along with me. X-axis unemployment, Y-axis inflation. Okay, now how did we draw? First we are, look here, same diagram. Here first we are drawing the Phillipps curve. Okay. This is Phillipps curve. I am using a different color. Okay. Suppose this is the price level. This is the degree of unemployment. It is clear. When the price is OP, unemployment is OU. This is clear. Now आप देखो, inflation is becoming less. ये देखो, inflation कम होता है. कैसा मालूम पड़ेगा बच्चे लोग? Because price is becoming less. Inflation कम होने पर issue क्या होता है? Unemployment increase होता है. ये देखो.
Unemployment increase.
Yes, very good, children. When the price is OP1, that is price is reduced, then either you can see that unemployment has increased. You will ask, madam, इसमें क्या? इसमें सबसे बड़ा macroeconomic problem है, because आपका price कम होता है, it is very good, because people are able to get the goods at a lower price. But issue क्या है? Issue is unemployment is increasing. Many people are getting unemployed. बीच में प्रजापति राज. Don't unmute, I told it's a huge class, don't unmute. So here we are looking, we are explaining again, when the price is coming down, unemployment is increasing. Then suppose that the price is increasing. I'm using the other color. Suppose I'm using this. Dekho, price is increasing. Inflation is more. When inflation is more, children, what is happening? Unemployment is less. Piche. Unemployment is less. So when the inflation is high, inflation means increase in price. Unemployment is less. Okay, so what is happening? We are repeating again. First one, price is OP. I hope it is clear to you. When the price is OP, OU is the unemployment. That's right. So when the price increases to OP, when the price is decreasing to OP1, children, this should be OP2. When the price is decreasing to OP1, unemployment increases. Either unemployment is increasing. when the price is increasing to OP2, unemployment decreases. So economy में trade off क्या है? आपको दो विलन को चूज करना पड़ेगा. Which are the two villain? One villain is inflation. Other लीजिए. Maharaj. When the inflation increases, it is dangerous for the economy, but unemployment decreases. Okay. So the problem is, दोनों danger में कौन सा danger choose करना पड़ेगा? You may ask why. You cannot allow the inflation to go like that because prices will be going on increasing. When the prices are going on increasing, unemployment will come down. But the problem is price will increase. Children, you inform me, could you understand it or not, the diagram? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So what is the trade-off, children, in Phillipps curve? Phillipps curve, mein, what is the trade-off? Quick. Boliye, what is the trade-off? Trade-off is between 2 points. What are the two things?
Something to do to rectifies another one.
Yeah, that means what are the trade-off? इधर का variables क्या है? Trade-off में what are the variables? One variable is inflation.
Inflation.
Yeah, other variable is
Inflation and unemployment.
perfect, children. Inflation and unemployment. So what is happening when the inflation increases? Unemployment कम होगा. But the problem is country has to accept inflation. Then there are many countries they think नहीं inflation ही नहीं चाहिए. So inflation कम है फिर आपका unemployment ज़्यादा होगा. So that is why it is said that those who are in the, those who are the finance ministers, those who are working with RBI, the top officials, it is very essential what you have written in the chat box. Good children, very nice. So it is a very challenging job. And Phillipps, the Professor Phillipps, he has studied these characteristics around 100 years. It is not a 10-year or 20-year research. It's a 100-year research almost. Then he has seen the behavior of wages in England. So this is a proved fact. This is what we have seen Phillipps curve. So higher the inflation, lower the unemployment and vice versa. Please study this properly. Higher the inflation, opposite. Lower is unemployment and vice versa. So government has to decide whether they want inflation or unemployment. This is the challenge for the government. I told you आपके सामने दो danger variables देता है. Both are dangerous. Inflation is dangerous, unemployment is all the more dangerous. So the government has to choose the between this or this. If your inflation is, if you want to reduce unemployment, क्या होगा? You will have to accept inflation. हमको unemployment चाहिए नहीं, ठीक है, फिर आपको inflation accept करना ही पड़ेगा. So they have to make the monetary policy in such a manner, they have to be very careful. They should know what is their basic objective. Then they have to make the choice. Okay. So this is about, and आपने देखा कि long run, short run Phillipps curve is downward sloping. Always you remember this is the short run Phillipps curve. I am using the term PL, Phillipps curve, short run Phillipps curve. अभी देखो, we are entering into long run Phillipps curve. Long run Phillipps curve is problematic. It is vertical. That means it is vertical. This is long run Phillipps curve. Long run Phillipps curve is vertical. What do you mean by vertical? This implies in the long run, there is minimum unemployment rate that is consistent with steady inflation. That means in the long run, the trade-off is not very significant. That's the main point you have to remember. In the long run, minimum unemployment that is consistent with steady inflation. That means the trade-off between unemployment and inflation is not accepted in the long run. That means unemployment is minimum along with the 1 minute. Along with the steady inflation. 1 second, children, where it has gone. Okay. It is termed as non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment or NERU. See this word. Don't get confused with such complicated words. I will make it simple. NERU stands for what? Non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment. What do you mean by non-accelerating? Non-accelerating, matlab it will not increase. That is the meaning of the term non-accelerating. Inflation will not increase. Okay, non-accelerating inflation and the unemployment. That particular phenomenon is known as NERU. So children, go through what is NERU. I'm just cross-checking again in the textbook. Give me 1 minute time. NERU, 1 minute. Non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment, right? Inflation rate of unemployment or employment, a bit out of here. Matlab that there is no trade-off. That's what they are trying to prove. Correct. Non-accelerating inflation rate of employment. What do you mean by that, children? Inflation के साथ साथ unemployment या employment में change नहीं होता है. That's the meaning. Non-accelerating. Inflation is not changing, so employment is also steady. That is what they are trying to prove. That means in an economy, there is always some natural level of unemployment. It is very important. You cannot always achieve full employment. This even Keynes has proved. Full employment is a rare situation. So what is the common situation? Common situation is economy mean there will be some natural level of unemployment. Some people will be unemployed. See, we know that there is voluntary unemployment, there is involuntary unemployment. What is voluntary unemployment? Job available hai, but I am not ready for work. That is voluntary unemployment. Involuntary, though you are ready to work, but the job is not available. Okay, but natural unemployment is generally associated with what? Voluntary unemployment. That is always there will be some people who are not ready to work. Job available होने पर भी इतना आलसी है, they are not ready to work. ഓലിക്കൊന്നും വരിക വിളിച്ചിട്ട് എനിക്ക് നേരെ കിടക്കുക ഓപ്പോസിറ്റ് കൂടെ. Children, 2-3 things only we are repeating now due to the paucity of time. Later we will continue. Long run Phillipps curve, what is the main point you have to remember? It is vertical straight line. Short run Phillipps curve was downward sloping. Long run Phillipps curve is vertical straight line. That's point number 1. In the long run, minimum unemployment that is consisting with the inflation. That means whatever may be the level of inflation, some basic unemployment will be there in the economy. That generally we call it as NERU. What is NERU? Non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment. That is the meaning. Non-accelerating rate of unemployment. Children, what is the meaning? Economy may there will be some basic level of unemployment which will be existing with the inflation. I hope you are understanding. Could you follow it? Yes or no? आवाज नहीं आया.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, 1 minute. इधर मैं वही देखा था. Non-accelerating inflation rate of is employment, children. मैं वही देखा था. I was feeling there is something wrong. It is non-accelerating rate of employment or NERU. That means employment will be steady. It is non-accelerating rate of employment. Non-accelerating means it will not speed up. The employment rate will be steady with a particular level of inflation. Here is the 1 minute. Uh, this diagram you can see here. This one is the short run Phillipps curve. You can see here. This is the short run Phillipps curve 1 and 2. Here they go 1 plus 2. You know short run Phillipps curve is downward sloping. This is short run Phillipps curve 3. So there are 3 short run Phillipps curve. This is 1 and 2. This is 3. Both are downward sloping. And red color, this is showing long run Phillipps curve, which is vertical. You can see here. That is the basic difference. Short run Phillipps curve is downward sloping. Long run Phillipps curve is vertical. Okay. So it is that point. Then here, what does this point denote? Dekho. That point A, here y-axis we are showing inflation. When there is a short run Phillipps curve 1 and 2, inflation is O1. You can call it as this is the inflation. When the Phillipps curve is shifting up, when the Phillipps curve become 3, then inflation is also increasing. You can see here, it is becoming 2. Dekho. But here, what they are saying, this point B, but the point B is belonging to short run Phillipps curve. Point C is belonging to short run Phillipps curve 3. So here they say that when the inflation is increasing, Phillipps curve is shifting. But a point will reach, point R, where inflation will become, or the Phillipps curve will become vertical. Point R, Phillipps curve is becoming vertical. It will not change. We will continue it later. First, I will take your attendance now. Thank you, children. I will take your attendance and this diagram we will continue in the next class.